Welcome to the class. Today I would like to introduce spectroscopy. The main learning objectives in this class is what is spectroscopy, why we are using electromagnetic radiation, and what is the purpose of using spectrophotometer. Before going in detail to spectroscopy, let us know what is the need for spectroscopy. A spectroscopy is used for the identification of an organic compound. That means, if suppose in a reaction, when A reacts with B, it will give C. To know the structure of an organic compound formed in the reaction, we have to follow particular methods called classical method. In olden days we use classical method or a chemical method. By using the classical method, we have to follow first step is qualitative analysis. By the qualitative analysis, we can know the type of elements present in the compound. After knowing the type of elements present in the compound, the very next step is to find out the amount of element present in the compound. Further, we will follow quantitative analysis. So, in the quantitative analysis, we will find out the quantity of the element. By knowing the element type and amount of the element, we can easily calculate the empirical formula. By the empirical formula, we can find out the molecular formula and finally structure of an organic compound. So, this is the way of identifying an organic compound. For this method, we will follow so many steps. Step by step, we will take a longer time and high amount of compound is also required for the identification. As we know that all the compounds, so many compounds are highly cost effective compounds. That means to spend more time and to spend more amount is required for the determination of an organic compound by using this classical method. If suppose we use modern method, that is called spectroscopic technique, we can use a small amount which is milligrams. That means some milligrams of amount is only required for the identification of an organic compound, and the time duration takes place is also very less. So, the consumption of time is less and the consumption of material also less. So, that is why spectroscopic method is the predicted method or following method in nowadays. Okay. Next, what is a spectroscopy? Spectroscopy is a field of science which deals with the study of interaction of electromagnetic radiation in all its forms with matter. That means electromagnetic radiation has it is nothing but it is a energy. It is a form of energy which have electric component and magnetic component, both are fluctuating orthogonal to each other. That means both the components are present perpendicular to each other, and Max Planck give that relation for the energy is given as E is equal to h nu. So, the energy of electromagnetic radiation is quantized and it is given by E is equal to h nu. So, here I will show the picture of an electromagnetic wave. So, see here on y direction electric component is present and on z direction you are having magnetic component. Both the electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other and they are propagated through x axis as a straight line. So, this is the electromagnetic wave. See here, electric component is present on component is present on a y direction which is upward, and magnetic component is present on which is directly perpendicular to the electric component. then these two components both are perpendicular to x direction, and propagation of wave can be like this. Now let us concentrate on a mechanism of interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. So when electromagnetic radiation interacts with the matter, there must be some changes takes place in the matter. Those changes can be recorded and will finally interpret the structure of an organic compound. So now let us know how the interaction takes place. Okay, in between electromagnetic radiation and matter, what is the key idea for the interaction? The main key idea is nothing but the charge. As we know that a molecule which is made up of atoms consists of electron, proton and neutron. Electron is electrically negatively charged one, and proton is positively charged one. If you write the diagram of an atom, so this is an atom which is having nucleus, and around the nucleus we are having circular orbits, and circular orbits we are accommodating electrons. In the nucleus, protons and neutrons are present. Neutron is neutral one and proton is positively charged one. When electromagnetic radiation interacts with matter, then the charge that is present inside the nucleus and outside the nucleus will have the interaction with the electromagnetic radiation in the form of photons. So electromagnetic radiations will emit in the form of photons that can be interacted with matter, and the interaction will take place between electromagnetic radiation and the matter. Okay, so here the key idea is charge. So here positive charge is present, here negative charge is present. So due to the availability of the charge, that charge is responsible for the interaction. So this is the basic idea. Now let us know different type of electromagnetic radiations that interacts with matter. So this is a simple diagram of electromagnetic radiation. See here. So here we are giving the wavelength range. So electromagnetic spectrum is a range of electromagnetic radiation which starts with gamma ray and ends with radio waves. See here we are having very less wavelength, and see here very high wavelength. That means from gamma ray to radio wave, wavelength must be increases. What is wavelength? Wavelength is nothing but, as we know that electromagnetic wave, so this is nothing but a wave. The distance between two adjacent crusts or two adjacent troughs is known as lambda. So if suppose you want to know the picture of electromagnetic spectrum, that can be looks like this. So this is the electromagnetic spectrum. By moving from left to right, what I am doing, I am increasing the wavelength. The length of the wave I am increasing. See here the wavelength of the radiation is somewhat less, and here somewhat medium, and going on there the wavelength must be increases. That means a wavelength can be increases from gamma ray to radio waves. Okay, and for the case of energy, as in the earlier slide, I am giving the expression called E is equal to h nu. So according to Planck's, we are deriving this one, and this can be also written as h c by lambda. That means energy and lambda both are inversely proportional to each other. When lambda is less, that is when wavelength is less, what about the energy? Energy must be high. That means a gamma ray must be highly energetic one. That means energy can be directed like this. That means gamma ray has high energy and radio wave has a low energy. Okay, so this is the energy and wavelength relation of an electromagnetic radiation. Starts with gamma ray and ends with radio waves. Now let us discuss in detail one by one. When gamma rays are taken into consideration, when gamma ray fall onto the surface of matter which compose of molecules which have atom, and here I am writing a nucleus, and here it is a circular orbit which is having an electron. So now gamma ray, as we know that it is highly energetic radiation, it has the ability to penetrate towards the nucleus, so that much energetic it is, gamma rays. So this is having the ability to penetrate towards the nucleus of an atom. This study can be discussed in the case of mass burst spectroscopy. And next one is X-rays. When X-rays are interacted with an atom, what will happen? Let us see. So here I am writing two orbits that are around the nucleus. Simply I am writing the electrons. When X-ray fall onto the surface of inner electron, when the interaction takes place, then the X-ray can have the ability to excite the inner electrons. Because it is somewhat less energetic than compared to gamma ray, it cannot penetrate through nucleus. That means it can be stopped at the stage of inner core electron only. So there is a excitation takes place from inner electrons. This study can be discussed in the case of X-ray spectroscopy. Now let us come to another region, that is UV visible region. So UV visible region is two regions combining here, UV region and visible region. Both the regions are combiningly studied in this case. So when UV visible radiation interacts with an atom which has nucleus, inner electrons and outer electrons, when UV visible radiation interacts with matter, it has somewhat less energetic than compared to X-rays. So it has the ability towards the outer electron only. It cannot reach to inner electron. That means outer electronic excitations only takes place in this case. This entire study can be discussed in the case of UV visible spectroscopy. So the molecule which is having electronical energy states can be excited from the lower energy to higher energy. This study can be discussed in the case of UV visible spectroscopy. Now come to IR spectroscopy. So here IR radiation when fall onto the surface of molecule. So molecule means molecule which is having atoms connected by bonds. If suppose it is a molecule, when IR radiation come in contact with a molecule, molecular vibrations can take place. That means a molecule can vibrate due to the interaction of IR radiation. This study can be discussed in the case of IR spectroscopy. Now come to the next region, that is microwave. When microwave radiation reaches to a molecule, then the molecule can rotate. So the rotation means if suppose this is A and this is B. When rotation takes place, A comes to B place and B comes to A place. So this is the rotation. That means when microwave radiation interacts with matter, molecular rotations will take place. This study can be discussed in the case of microwave spectroscopy. Now come to the next one, that is radio waves. When radio waves interacts with matter which consists of nucleus has particular spin, the spin of the nucleus can be flipped from one orientation to another orientation. So, due to the change in the nuclear spin, we can give the entire spectroscopy. We can discuss the entire spectroscopy called as nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So, this is nothing but resonance, flipping of nucleus from one orientation to another orientation. For this, we are using radio waves. So, this is the basic idea of electromagnetic radiations in different forms with the interaction of matter. Okay, right. Now, let us study the spectrophotometer, requirement of spectrophotometer. Before going to spectrophotometer, for what cause we are using spectrophotometer, let us know. Yes. So, when matter interacts, electromagnetic radiation in the form of photon interacts with the matter, what will happen? Some changes will occur in the molecule. Those changes can be recorded by one machine or one particular tool called as spectrophotometer. For this case, we are using spectrophotometer. Okay, the changes that are taken place in the molecule can be recorded by using spectrophotometer. Now, let us know the basic requirement. Here we are giving or providing a light source. Light can emit an electromagnetic radiation with a particular wavelength. So, after the emitting of the light, it can pass through the slit and then it can hit onto the surface of a prism selector. And here we have a keen idea that light source can emit the radiation in the form of polychromatic radiation. But to know the structural identification, we need monochromatic radiation. That means we have to convert the polychromatic radiation into monochromatic radiation. For that, here we are using prism selector. So, the need of prism selector is converting the polychromatic radiation into monochromatic radiation. Yes, after converting the polychromatic radiation into monochromatic radiation, it has to pass on to the sample. When interaction takes place between monochromatic radiation and sample, some changes will be happened in the sample. Those changes can be detected by the instrument called detector, and the detector can give the signals to recorder in the form of bands, and by seeing the absorption bands or by seeing the signals, we can find out the structure of an organic compound. So, this is the basic idea of a spectrophotometer. By this, we are introducing what is a spectroscopy and what is electromagnetic radiation. For what purpose we are studying spectrophotometer. So, this is the class for today. Thanks for giving this opportunity.